Creating accessible documents in Microsoft Word and Adobe Acrobat DC. Effective January 1st, 2018, Syracuse University's new Information and Communication Technology, or ICT, accessibility policy went into effect. The purpose of the policy is to ensure that members of the SU community can effectively access university content, including websites, instructional materials, and electronic documents. As stated in the policy, the university commits that information and communication technology products and services acquired, adopted, developed, or updated after the effective date of this policy shall be accessible to individuals with disabilities. But of course, the real answer to the question of why accessibility is important is that we need to make sure that our content is accessible to the widest variety of users, including those individuals who rely on assistive technologies. By assistive technologies, we're generally referring to devices such as screen magnifiers, screen readers, braille displays, and voice recognition apps. For people who have low vision issues resulting from, for example, macular degeneration, glaucoma, diabetic retinopathy, or cataracts, you need to consider things like whether your fonts are legible and whether you have good enough color contrast between the text color and the background color. Also, you may have experienced this yourself, graphical text doesn't scale. Text that is presented as an image usually becomes difficult or impossible to read when enlarged. It may become fuzzy or pixelated. Blindness affects approximately 1 in 12 men and 1 in 200 women, which breaks down to about 4.5% of the population. The most common type of color blindness is known as red-green color blindness, but there are many variations including blue deficiencies and even no color vision. The important thing to remember about accessibility when it comes to color blindness is that you should never use color alone as a means for communicating information in charts, graphs, images, links, or any other meaningful element in your document. This doesn't mean that you can't use color, you just need to make sure that color isn't the only means of communicating information, and we'll talk about strategies for addressing this. For people who have limited fine motor control, whether permanently or temporarily, using a mouse may be difficult. They may not be using a mouse at all and need to navigate using just a keyboard, or they may be using a mouse but have trouble clicking small or crowded links. For these individuals, a navigational aid such as a table of contents is extremely useful. Users who may have cognitive or learning difficulties such as dyslexia, ADHD, or memory issues will benefit from good document structure, including a consistent, uncluttered layout with properly nested headings and clear writing style. And finally, good design just benefits everyone. We all use mobile devices, and good, accessible design is also more responsive, which will allow for access using a variety of device types. And of course, for many of our users, English is not their primary language, so a consistent, logical layout will contribute to reading comprehension. And let's not forget that we're all getting older, and with that comes a new appreciation for clear typography and good color contrast. By the end of this session, it's our hope that you'll be able to create new accessible documents using the built-in styles, alternative text features, descriptive hyperlinks, properly formatted tables, and other features of Word. You'll also know how to remediate legacy Word documents, use the built-in accessibility checker, and finally, convert Word documents to accessible PDFs in a way that retains these accessibility features that you've worked so hard to create. We'll also take a quick look at using the Adobe Acrobat DC accessibility checker. Before we begin the hands-on exercises, let's watch a short video that demonstrates some of the ways poor design can make it difficult for someone using assistive technology.